Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the vast expanse of human experience, guided by the lantern of curiosity and the compass of critical thinking. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of a pivotal moment in American history, a clash of arms that would shake the foundations of a nation, the Battle of the Wilderness. As we prepare to delve into this complex and multifaceted event, let us first set our sights on the horizon of its origins, for it is in the earliest stirrings of this conflict that we may discover the seeds of discord. The year was 1863, and the American Civil War had been raging for 2 years, with the Confederacy and the Union locked in a struggle that would ultimately decide the fate of a nation. It was during this tumultuous period that the stage was set for the Battle of the Wilderness, a conflict that would prove to be a crucial turning point in the war. In the spring of 1863, the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia, led by General Robert E. Lee, had been seeking to regain the initiative after their defeat at the Battle of Fredericksburg. Meanwhile, the Union Army of the Potomac, led by General Joseph Hooker, was determined to crush the Confederacy and bring a swift end to the war. As the two armies began to maneuver in the wilderness region of Virginia, the terrain itself became a key player in the unfolding drama. The dense forests, winding streams, and rugged hills of the wilderness would prove to be a formidable challenge for both armies, as they sought to outmaneuver each other in a battle that would be fought on multiple fronts. As we explore the earliest history of the Battle of the Wilderness, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex web of strategic decisions and personal convictions. General Ulysses S. Grant, newly appointed as commander of all Union forces, had been seeking to break the stalemate that had characterized the war thus far. He knew that a decisive victory was needed to shatter the Confederacy's will to resist, and he saw the wilderness region as the key to unlocking this goal. Meanwhile, General Lee, aware of Grant's intentions, had been preparing his own forces for the impending battle, using the natural defenses of the wilderness to his advantage. The town of Chancellorsville, with its crucial crossroads where the Orange Plank Road and the Fredericksburg Road converged, became a focal point in the unfolding drama. Both Union and Confederate forces recognized the strategic importance of this location, and each sought to control it as a means of gaining the upper hand in the battle to come. As the two armies began to converge on the wilderness, the stage was set for a clash that would be both fierce and decisive. In the months leading up to the battle, the Union Army had been undergoing significant changes, with Grant's appointment marking a new era in the war effort. The Army was reorganized, and new strategies were put in place, all with the goal of finally defeating the Confederacy. Meanwhile, the Confederate Army, though outnumbered, had the advantage of familiarity with the terrain and a deep understanding of the strategic importance of the wilderness. As we stand poised on the brink of the battle itself, we are reminded that the outcome was far from certain. The Union Army, with its superior numbers and firepower, seemed poised to deliver a crushing blow to the Confederacy. Yet, the Confederate Army, with its cunning leadership and knowledge of the terrain, was determined to hold its ground and emerge victorious. The fate of a nation hung precariously in the balance, as the two armies prepared to clash in a battle that would decide the course of history. And so, dear listeners, we conclude this examination of the earliest history of the Battle of the Wilderness, our minds filled with the vivid images of a bygone era. We've seen the seeds of discord sown, and the stage set for a conflict that would shake the very foundations of a nation. Welcome back to History with Herodotus. As we continue our exploration of the Battle of the Wilderness, a pivotal moment in American history. As May 1864 dawned, the Union Army, under the command of General Ulysses S. Grant, began its push into the wilderness region of Virginia, intent on confronting the Confederate Army led by General Robert E. Lee. The terrain itself proved to be as formidable an opponent as the enemy, with dense forests and winding streams that hindered movement and obscured visibility. Despite these challenges, both armies were determined to emerge victorious from this clash. The battle commenced on May 5, 1864, as Union forces advanced along the Orange Plank Road and the Fredericksburg Road, seeking to outflank Lee's army. However, the Confederate commander was well aware of Grant's intentions and had positioned his troops to maximize the defensive advantages offered by the Wilderness. The initial engagements were fierce but inconclusive, with both sides suffering heavy casualties as they probed each other's lines. One of the most significant aspects of the Battle of the Wilderness was the role of fire. The dry underbrush of the forest caught fire in several places, causing widespread panic and adding to the confusion and chaos of the battlefield. This element of unpredictability underscored the complexities of warfare in such a challenging environment, where the natural world itself seemed to conspire against both armies. Despite the challenges posed by the terrain and the ferocity of the fighting, General Grant remained resolute in his determination to defeat Lee's army. He understood that a decisive victory was crucial, not only for the morale of his troops, but also for the overall strategy of the war. On the other hand, General Lee was equally determined to protect Richmond, the capital of the Confederacy, and to preserve the integrity of his forces. As the battle raged on through May 6 and into May 7, both armies became increasingly entangled in a series of skirmishes and engagements that seemed to have no clear outcome. The fighting was intense and often brutal, with soldiers on both sides displaying extraordinary courage and resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. It was during these days that the true nature of modern warfare began to reveal itself, a clash not just of arms but of wills, where the resolve of one side would eventually break under the relentless pressure applied by the other. The outcome of the Battle of the Wilderness, though tactically inconclusive, marked a significant turning point in the war. General Grant's decision to continue his advance towards Richmond, rather than retreating as his predecessors had done after similar battles, signaled a new era of determination and resolve on the part of the Union Army. For Lee and the Confederacy, the battle was a defensive success, but at great cost, and it marked the beginning of a long and arduous campaign that would eventually lead to the gates of Richmond. As we reflect on the Battle of the Wilderness, we are reminded of the profound human cost of conflict and the enduring legacy of war. The bravery and sacrifice of soldiers on both sides, though often overlooked in the broader narrative of history, stand as a testament to the complexities and challenges of warfare. The battle itself, a microcosm of the larger conflict, underscores the importance of strategy, leadership, and the human spirit in shaping the course of events. The battle may have been a tactical draw, but its strategic implications were profound, setting the stage for the eventual defeat of the Confederacy and the reunification of a nation. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we navigate the aftermath of the Battle of the Wilderness, a pivotal moment in American history. The battle, which concluded on May 7, 1864, marked a significant turning point in the war, as General Ulysses S. Grant's determination to continue his advance towards Richmond signaled a new era of resolve on the part of the Union Army. As the dust settled, both armies assessed their losses and regrouped for the next phase of the campaign. The Union Army had suffered approximately 17,000 casualties, while Confederate losses were estimated at around 11,000. Despite these heavy losses, Grant remained resolute in his determination to defeat Lee's army and capture Richmond. He understood that a decisive victory was crucial not only for the morale of his troops, but also for the overall strategy of the war. In the days and weeks that followed, Grant's army continued its relentless push towards Richmond, engaging Confederate forces in a series of battles and skirmishes along the way. The Overland Campaign, as it came to be known, was marked by intense fighting and heavy casualties on both sides. The Battle of Spotsylvania Courthouse, fought from May 8 to 21, 1864, saw some of the most brutal and intense fighting of the war, with soldiers on both sides displaying extraordinary courage and resilience in the face of overwhelming adversity. As the campaign wore on, Lee's army became increasingly entrenched, relying on a series of defensive lines and fortifications to slow the Union advance. However, Grant's determination and strategic thinking ultimately proved too much for the Confederates, as he skillfully maneuvered his troops to outflank and disrupt Lee's defenses. The Battle of Cold Harbor, fought from May 31 to June 12, 1864, marked a significant turning point in the campaign, as Grant's army finally broke through Lee's lines and began its march towards Richmond. The aftermath of the Battle of the Wilderness also had significant implications for the Confederacy, as the loss of men and resources began to take its toll on the Southern war effort. The Confederate economy was struggling, with inflation rampant and supplies scarce. Morale among soldiers and civilians was also beginning to sag, as the reality of defeat began to sink in. As we reflect on the aftermath of the Battle of the Wilderness, we are reminded of the profound human cost of conflict and the enduring legacy of war. The bravery and sacrifice of soldiers on both sides, though often overlooked in the broader narrative of history, stand as a testament to the complexities and challenges of warfare. The battle itself, a microcosm of the larger conflict, underscores the importance of strategy, leadership, and the human spirit in shaping the course of events. In the words of General Grant himself, "The enemy is in our front, and we must fight him." This determination and resolve ultimately led to the defeat of the Confederacy and the reunification of a nation. As historian James McPherson notes, the Battle of the Wilderness marked a turning point in the war, as Grant's army began its relentless march towards Richmond, and the Confederacy began its slow and painful decline towards defeat. The soldiers who clashed in the wilderness of Virginia, their bravery and sacrifice will always be remembered as a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Join us next time on History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through one of the most pivotal moments in American history. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.